Hello everybody and welcome back to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play tabletop RPGs with pace, vim and vigour, fit in an exciting one-shot in just 2 hours of time. We're playing a new game. Today we're playing Tales from the Loop. So I'm joined by 4 kids. They may not look like kids as it stands, but that's what they'll be playing. In 1980s Sweden, so Tales from the Loop is a game by Free League, where it's late 1980s Sweden in the Malaren Islands. There's an experimental scientific facility, the facility for research into high energy physics, nearby in this sort of rural suburban Swedish town. And our protagonists are between the ages of 10 and 15. Most of their parents, most of the adults will work at the facility and they will encounter strange goings on there. Feel free to check out, there's a TV series that was done of it on Amazon Prime that I think is amazing. My opinion isn't shared by most of the people that I've spoken to, but I think it's really good. It's quite slow. It's got Jonathan Pryce in it. It's ace. Check it out. But not yet. What you want to do is watch us play through it and see it. This will be more exciting because it's at a much faster pace than that. So I would say before we start, I'll just say Tales from the Loop. You're playing kids. There are some interactions with adults that can be a bit tricky, and all of our kids have got some trouble, something going on in their home lives that makes them sort of predisposed to go out and investigate weird stuff. Because of that, we'll be using safety tools. We've had a lines and veils discussion before coming online. We've got an X card. People will type it in the chat or just do a little X symbol if anything comes up, and we'll sort of rewind and do that. We'll edit that bit out so you won't get to see it on there. But Tales from the Loop is definitely a game I would strongly recommend. Don't play it without safety tools. You might think you're playing kids, but you've all been kids. We've all been bullied. We've all had that kind of experience that might come up in this. So just take care. There is a content warning for viewers. There's potential for a little bit of harm to animals. It'll take place off screen here, and it won't be described in any sort of detail. But bear in mind, there are some animals involved in this adventure, and they're not all good doggies. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my first kid, Gaz.
Hello, yes. I'm Gaz, half of this, and the other half of me is part of What Would the Smart Party Do, the UK's premier RPG podcast. So today, I am playing Nico, who is extremely popular. Good-looking, middle teens kind of guy, well-liked by everyone. Much like his dad's liked by everyone as well, actually, especially his secretary and other ladies for some reason. But that happens off screen. We don't need to know too much about that. Do you want a little scene now, or shall we wait for our proper introductions first?
Let's go around and introduce first, then we'll do the quick scenes.
Yeah. That'll do for me now. Then.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Gaz. So next we've got the designer of our amazing logo for Unconventional GMs, designer and gamer extraordinaire, John. John, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm John, and I'm going to be playing Christian, who is described as the bookworm. Smart kid, kind of always smartly turned out, always got a big backpack, got lots of books in, that kind of thing. Just, never early out of lessons, that kind of thing as well. His dad's not around anymore. I'd like to think maybe his dad probably works at the facility, but nobody will tell me where my dad is anymore. And also he's coats in the hall. There's still a lot of reminders around about that kind of thing. So yeah, so I'm Christian. That's me.
Lovely. Becky, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm playing Ida, who is the weirdo. She's very curious. She's not scared of anything apart from the bullies at school. So probably her dress sense and musical interests keep her in their line of sight, so I would say.
Lovely. And finally, Ian, who are you playing?
I'm Ian McAllister from the Giant Brain, a site about board games and reviewing and that kind of thing. I also do a podcast called Brainwaves, which is about tabletop gaming news, and another one called Cult of the Old about older games. Do go and check those out. Tonight I'll be playing Henrik the Jock. Maybe not your typical jock, sort of looks out for other people more, not really the sort of bully type jock. It needs quite a lot of help in class, gets help from other people, especially with this sort of reading and writing. He's just not terribly good at that, though I'm sure that won't come up at all in this particular session. And you'll often see him like pulling up to school on his BMX bike, trying to pull tricks, but not really quite pulling it off. He thinks he's a lot better than he actually is.
Fantastic, fantastic. And as teased by Gaz before, Tales from the Loop begins with a little scene of sort of regular life before the mystery starts. So it's 1980 Sweden. We've got whatever music from the late 80s you can picture in your mind is playing as we zoom in on the windswept suburban area of the Malvern Islands where our kids live. It's spring, but it's well into the school term by now. And all of our kids are looking forward to it. We join everyone at breakfast as they're just getting ready for the school day. Shortly after this scene, they're going to all sort of meet up and they walk to school together. And then we'll see what interesting stuff happens while they're doing it. So, Gaz, you sounded like you might have a scene in mind.
Yeah, it's the early morning. I've come rushing down. I've got my jeans and obviously my brand new trainers with a nice tick down the side, and of course a denim jacket to go with it. And I'm wearing a Iron Maiden t-shirt, but ironically, because I don't really like the music, but I just want to like make them popular in school because I saw a kid getting bullied, and I thought, no, I'm going to promote the band. That'll teach everyone else for trying to say what's cool and what's not. I'm the kid who decides that. My mum sat there on the edge of the table. She's still dressed in the same clothes as last night, bags under her eyes, an ashtray full of cigarette butts, as she's still waiting for my dad to come home, but he's obviously working late again. So me and Martin, my brother, tuck into some Gravelax and have a good chat and talk about what we're going to do. And I said, anyway, I can't be hanging around with you losers. I need to go and see my friends and tell everybody at school what I've been doing last night, because that is the most important thing that will happen to them today. I like point him on the nose and then head out grabbing my school books.
Fantastic. I love the Gravelax reference. First similar cheat of being in Sweden. That's lovely. Do they have a breakfast? Probably, yeah, I imagine.
They do now.
right in. Right, join us on the comments, viewers.
This is fantasy Sweden. We can do anything we want.
So let's cut to Christian's house. John, do you have a scene in mind to describe, or do you want me to paint one for you?
I think so. I'm downstairs getting ready for school. So my mum, with my dad not being around, my mum's working a lot of shifts, so she's already gone out. So I'm getting breakfast ready for me and my sister. And we're arguing over radio stations to listen to at breakfast because she wants to listen to all the pop radio hits. She's younger than me, and I keep flipping over to a bit more of a I suppose I'd like to call it like a not radio for world service type thing. And I'm trying to kind of like get up on world affairs. And also there's a quiz on in the morning that I like getting into. And I like trying to like answer the questions before they give them, that kind of thing as well. And it really gets my sister's nerves. But I eventually will then put that back on for her and then get breakfast. And I get her ready for school and send her out because she meets her mates. And then I grab my stuff and open my bag and just make sure that I've definitely got my encyclopedia and all my books and count them all. Make sure I've got all my pens as well and all that kind of thing. And then I just kind of think about grabbing my dad's coat, but I know I'll probably get told off by that from my mum because it's still there in the hall, hung up. And then I head out to school.
Yeah, and as that's lovely. As you sort of go to exit the door, the post hasn't been yet, but you notice there's a little piece of paper folded up that has been dropped off the previous night, and it's got a like photocopied picture of a dog on it, with a reward offered. And you recognise this dog and the name on it. It's Matt, one of your friends from school, or well, I'll not presume that you're friends, but he's someone you know him from school. He's only got this dog like a few weeks ago, but it seems as if it's lost already, and there's quite a substantial reward offered for its return. You notice.
Interesting. I shall fold it up and put that inside my coat pocket, and thinking about that might be something that me and my friends might want to think about heading out and investigating after school, maybe.
Who knows? Let's cut to Ida. Becky, do you have a scene in mind, or do you want me to set one up for you?
Yeah, I've got something in mind. So Ida is downstairs. She stood with her granny. They're in a very small quite dark room, with a few lamps on, and she's playing her nickel harper, which is a really rather large musical instrument, and they're playing some folk music together. And they are also wearing matching sweaters. And she just is playing away, and you can hear like yelling from another adult, her name being hollered through another part of the house, and she's got her little pet rat on her shoulder as well, who's sort of jostling about as they're playing, and then the door slams open, and her mother is yelling that, do you know what time it is?
Excellent. The dangers of getting too involved with folk music.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's rejoined us now after Googling what that instrument looks like. So I'm sure they are. Beautiful. And finally, Ian, what do we see of Henrik? Do you have a scene in mind?
Paint one for me.
So Henrik, I think the day begins with you just racing downstairs. You're maybe on the other side of town, and post comes quite early for you.
Sure.
And you just manage to get there and get to the door at the right time as the post lands. And you recognize, it's quite hard to pick, but you recognize the crest of your high school on one of them. And
all right,
you realize you've managed to intercept the school report. And so you're able to sort of get hold of it before your parents or siblings are able to see it and open.
Tuck that into my American sort of like high school letter on the thing that bears no relation to the letter of the school that we're going to, like, got that kind of jacket, all sort of American styling. So grabs a bit of toast on the table, so kisses his mum on the cheek, says bye, and like gets out the door, grabs his BMX, and like heads off into the snow, skidding about the place.
Excellent. And there's that, like, they're trying to force you, like, there's a pile of books that you've left just there without your pencil case, all your school supplies just been left to one side as you wade in, and you can all meet up now. You all meet up on the sort of crossing where you normally go into to walk into school. I'm imagining that it's quite a spread out suburban town. I think Sweden's quite like that anyway. Nowhere's particularly densely populated. So you've got a good sort of 30-minute walk to do, which is why you sort of catch up and all walk together as this sort of weird sort of band of misfits. And so as you catch up with each other and begin to walk in your sort of school bags and coats, is anyone starting a conversation? What's the news? What are you up for? Is anyone wanting to chat about anything?
No, sorry. No.
Henrik's office bike, like, pushing along. He's got the letter open from the school. He's like trying to make head or tail of it. Christian, can you tell me what this word is? And this one, and that one too, and well, actually most of it. Can you read that for me?
I help Henrik, and I also say, how did you get on with the revision stuff? Did that work out, or knowing the back of mind that you probably didn't, but in my head I'm hoping that there may be a positive answer about that kind of thing.
I started it, and I thought I brought it. No, I didn't bring it with me. No, I left it at home. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, come on, Henrik. We've all told you what fail looks like in letters. Surely you've learned that word by now. Look, it's here, here, and here. Yeah. Thanks, Nico. I have. Yeah, thank you. But you get distracted. I mean, I was watching some TV. Just fell asleep. I think I can't remember. You should get someone to do your homework for you, like I do. Just ask someone. Anyone will do it.
Ida just gives you a elbow in the ribs.
You're meant to do it yourself, though. Don't you have any self-respect, Nico?
Well,
at least I try.
Everyone else respects me. If I did it myself as well, that'd seem too much. Possibly a little bit gauche. That's my new word I learned.
Nice guys, I say, and open. I kind of get the folded photocopy thing out. So, did anybody get one of these through the letterbox this morning? I kind of show them. Isn't this Matt's dog? Don't we? That Matt from Signs, I think.
Nice dog. Missing?
He's lost it already. I mean, did anyone? I pass it around like I said. Did anyone else get this? Look at the reward. I mean, they must really
Nice
care about this
reward.
dog. Yeah.
I didn't check the mail. I just took this and. What's that letter say, by the way?
Well,
Dog.
as you are sharing this around, and I think probably we see on a lamppost nearby, this reward poster has been sort of sellotaped up as well, with sort of reward from Matt's. You're just passing through the public park on your way into school. So I think a sort of great big expanse of grass with a little playground in one side, but lots of little copses of wooded areas and bushes around. I'd like you to all make an investigate roll, just to get the first dice roll of the game out of the way. And I'm really interested in who gets the most, but as we haven't rolled dice yet, let's all do it and see what it is. So while you're doing that, I'll say Tales from the Loop is a sort of D6 dice pool. You get a success with a 6. There's various things you can do, sort of push the roll. Normally you just need 1 success, but sometimes you might need more than 1 from there. Lovely. So just scrolling back up as
Ida prides herself on being a good investigator, but she's like trying to cover up like a bust lip with a scarf that she seems to have acquired between leaving the house and getting to the point where we meet up. So she's not really paying attention, turns out.
Yeah. Well, in fact, it's Christian who notices it. Maybe after you've been passing this poster around, that actually just in some nearby bushes, there's a scruffy little dog hiding. And do you know what? As you sort of get the flyer back, it looks exactly like the dog on that flyer, just a bit dishevelled, and it also looks quite sort of scared.
At that point, I kind of bring everyone else's attention to it and say, "Guys, look! That's this dog, isn't it?"
Oh, poor thing.
I get excited thinking about an entire encyclopedia set and thinking about money and rewards.
Yeah, and Nico, because I mean you got a success as well. You spot it as soon as it's drawn attention to you, and you can see it does look exactly like the pet that you've seen. And actually, you've probably seen Matt's dog before when he had it in school, when he sort of brought it in, and it looks exactly like it. It must be Matt's dog. It just looks a bit sort of dishevelled, as if it's been like out in the wilds for a little bit. And as you sort of start talking and pointing at it, it just looks like it's scared, like it might just run off at any minute.
Does the flyer have answers to the name of insert name here? Like
it does. It does indeed. Petra is the name that's on.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I don't know whether dogs eat Gravelax, but I've probably got some leftovers from breakfast of some sort. So I'll get a bit of, or some of my lunch basically. I'll get something out and get down on one knee and put on my like really earnest face I use when I want the teachers to give me an extension and stuff like that, and say, "Oh, come here, Petra. Is that you, Petra?" And just put some treats out. Say, "Come on, Petra. Come on. We're all friends. We're friends. Come on. Don't need to be scared." And try and coax her to come out.
Excellent. Well, Petra does seem to respond a little bit to the name, but still looks quite terrified, obviously, at you and the offer of food, which it may or may not be poisonous to dogs. We don't know. Someone's Googling that right now. Do you want to roll me? Yeah. Do you want to roll me you need it? It'll be in that encyclopedia.
That's right.
Do you want to roll? Do you want to roll charm for that?
I do want to roll charm. Is anyone helping me in this? I'll say in a leading loaded question kind of way.
Yeah. Henrik will be like nearby, sort of ready to sort of grab said dog. He's like got a moldy bit of toast out of his pocket from yesterday, not the new bit from today. He's like sort of waving in the dog's direction as well.
Driving Petra towards me.
Yeah.
I kind of mutter in the background, being the kind of Christian slightly worried. He starts saying, "My mum said you've got to be careful around strange dogs, though." I mean, I've started suddenly getting worried now because even though we all know this is Matt's dog.
Yeah. Well,
I'm whistling some sort of folk tune, but not on purpose to help. I'm just whistling a folk tune.
Distracted by something else. Excellent. So you get a bonus dice for help. You only get 1 extra bonus dice. So
yeah, I rolled it and I got a success.
Fantastic. That is great. So, do you want to maybe describe what the success looks like? You managed to get the dog to you and calm it down.
Yeah. I mean, most dogs are treat driven. So as soon as this poor starving little animal that's been out in the cold for how long, who knows how long, get some food inside, It's then it's a simple matter to have some food in the flat of my hand and encourage Petra up. So I'll soon get her up under my denim jacket. So it's just a little fluffy face sticking out, snaffling at some food. I get out. Like who else has got something? Anybody got any tuna or something? I don't know. Did he tuna? Is that cats? I can't remember. What somebody got? Come on. And I'll encourage the kids to empty out their lunch bags so I can try and find stuff to give it.
I'll give it some rat kibble.
Can't do any harm.
I've got nothing in my bag. Left at home with nothing.
I've unfortunately got a box of healthy food from my mum. There's like carrot sticks and stuff like that, and like I think the dogs should go look at me and kind of go, "What?"
We probably need to get to school and get some real food. I'll say, like, rather disappointingly.
Well, as you're sort of holding it, I think Henrik was helping.
Yeah.
I think Henrik, you're the one that notices as you're sort of driving Petra towards Nico. There's actually, it doesn't have a collar or a tag or anything to identify it as Petra, apart from it looking like the photo. But just on its sort of behind, you notice there's a sort of birthmark thing on it. And as you look a bit closer, it's actually it looks a lot like. I mean, it's a weird birthmark. It looks a lot like the Reichs Energy logo.
Guys,
I mean, probably just coincidence.
Why would the dog have like a weird birthmark in the shape of the Bike's Energy logo? Like right here?
It would.
For a little thing? Does it look like sort of like basically like stamped on, like stamped into the skin? Like burnt into the skin? Or is it like
it doesn't look like it's been sort of branded or anything. It does look like a birthmark. And actually it's one of those things where you look at it again and you sort of convince you it can't be. It just looks like the logo. It is just a birthmark. It's just some discoloured skin. It's sort of that, and there's sort of some things written underneath it that could be like numbers, but it doesn't. Probably
Christian, have a look because because Nico's holding it, right? Christian, have a look at this, or Becky, can you see what that is?
So I'm not quite see what it is. Preferring around the dog's bum to everybody's face.
Is the area around where this is like shaved or anything, or is it just literally looks like a birthmark and there's fur and hair and all that kind of thing as usual?
Just looks like a birthmark. There's nothing more to it. I mean, maybe when you're at school you could look it up in your encyclopedia or do a bit more research in the library, but it's not anything. It looks, and again, as you look at it again, it's not believably a birthmark really from there.
They've got magnifying glasses in the geography and science department.
Yeah, yes.
Good idea.
Excellent. While this is going on, Ida, do you want to roll me an investigation roll? Because you were sort of keeping away, maybe wandering around the scene a little bit, see if there's anything else you spot out with the dog. Yeah, there is.
I'm being very observant.
Singing that folk song has helped.
Yeah.
You just look in the bushes where it came from, and there's loads of sort of paw prints in it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, like as you're sort of counting them and tracking them, you'd swear this looks like more than one dog has been here. Like there's a bit where it looks like two dogs sort of had a fight and stuff. So it seems, but there's no other sign of any animals around. Certainly from there.
I'll call over and be like, I don't think this is the only dog that has been staying in this bush.
It's the only one that there's reward money for, though, right?
So far. Maybe they don't know the other one's missing yet.
Excellent point.
Does Matt's dog look okay? Is this other dog injured Matt's dog at all? I mean...
Yeah, no, Petra looks fine. Just looks a bit disheveled, as if like a dog that had run away a few days ago and has been just out feral. So what's the plan? You've got the dog. Are you gonna head to school now? See if Matt's at school, or are you gonna go straight and try and get the reward? But I mean, you're on a tight schedule. That might mean skipping the morning at school.
We should probably go on school, I guess. I mean, Matt'll be there, right? So Matt can sort the reward out for us. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But we should come back here later and look for other dogs. There might be reward money for those too.
Yeah,
do the extra
this could be like I mean, my dad's always saying I'll have to join his business eventually, but maybe we can get into like dog salvage or whatever you call it.
Pet detectives.
Fantastic. So Petra in hand, who's now with that one charm roll, we can let it ride, is now certainly Nico. Petra's perfectly happy with sort of walking alongside and stuff. You're able to make it to school. You arrive a little bit before, obviously, classes start. and there's quite a commotion as you go into the school hall to see what's happening. Another student, Doris, who is, I think, to sort of paint the scene with Doris, Nico, you're a popular kid. You know, you generally get on well with that. But Doris is like a level above you. She's like the proper mean girls. Her friends don't talk to anyone else. You've got it so that everyone will talk to you, everyone likes you, but she's really up there. And maybe it's because she doesn't have like weird friends that she goes and hides in a treehouse and investigates stuff. You'll never know. But she's surrounded by like everyone else in school. And as you sort of push your way forward to see what's going on, she's got a dog under her arm. Petra, in fact, under her arm. And as you look from the dog to yours, she's put a little pink ribbon on it to sort of accessorize her own clothing. But she has found it, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, it'll be really hard to hand this back over to Matt. I'm just glad that I found him when I did. He was really poorly, but I nursed him back to health last night."
People who put clothes on dogs are the worst.
I
have questions.
I'm going to pick Petra up and just kind of rely on my aura by preferring Petra's bottom to the crowd. And then remember that we're not supposed to be demonstrating the side this time and turn around again. So she's got a face. And I go wait for, as they usually do, my crew of weirdos to start blurting stuff out before I get to actually say my charming speech.
There appear to be two Petras. I mean, I'm not great at maths, but there's definitely two, right?
Ida's going to be waiting to see if the other Petra also has this weird mark. Like, she's waiting to get a good angle, or is like moving around the crowd even to like get a better look to see if that same freckle is there.
Excellent. Go on.
I was going to look in how are these dogs reacting to each other as well? Are they noticed each other?
So they're not. They have noticed each other, but they're not doing the thing that like all dogs do when they see a dog they haven't seen before. Like, they're not super excited and like, what, another dog? That's amazing. They just sort of like look at each other. There's a little bit of a sniff. They're not panicking or anything. Doris is immediately saying, "Oh, two Petras, don't be ridiculous. This is little Petra. I found her." It's typical, isn't it? Always trying to one up me. They probably bought that from a pet shop, trying to pretend it's Matt's because they want the reward. And all of her sort of gang start like nodding and smiling and looking around. As they do that, I think, Ida, you might be able to find a good angle to have a look.
Great.
And see. Do you want to make me an investigate again? As you have to sort of push round the crowd of popular kids, and I hope that they ignore you.
They usually do ignore me. So.
Yeah, you are completely ignored. Obviously, you can't get right up to the dog's butt, but you can see enough that there's a little mark there, in sort of the same place as yours. From that,
not mine, but Petra's.
Petra's, sorry. Yeah. It does appear.
We haven't investigated you yet.
So indeed, Doris is saying. So I mean, it's just pathetic, Nico, that you try and like steal the limelight when poor Matt. I've not even seen him today. When poor Matt is so upset over his dog that you would be so cruel as to buy one and pretend it was his.
I mean, are you besmirching the name of Mr. Johansson's pet shop in town that we bought this raggedy thing? I mean, sorry, Petra, but you look a bit raggedy. This raggedy dog from a pet shop. Really? Why would we do that?
Well, I don't know. You tell me, because you're the ones that did it. You're going to have to do something to sort of prevent, because the whole crowd is with Doris. She was like the original dog rescuer, and they're not minded to change their mind that you've arrived. And more interestingly, Henrik, I think, is the person who's trying to sway the crowd onto your side. So I think I'm going to ask you to make a bit of a test. I think it might be charm. Just looking at the skills list again.
Sure. Yeah.
To try and sort of get people to believe that you're at least in the right. You're going to have to get 2 successes for this, though, I'm afraid, because Doris has a sharp tongue which means it's slightly harder to work against. If anyone's happy to help, if they want a little narration in, if one person wants to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to be demonstrating how mucky, dishevelled, and obviously having lived outside in a gutter for a few days, the dog is by ruffling Petra in people's faces.
I'm brandishing the photocopy and putting it right next to Petra's head, going, "It's obvious. Look, it's obvious."
That's so. Yeah,
no pink bow on this one. Look.
Yeah. Christian notices that is the only difference actually. So it's not helping that much. Yeah, Doris, this is exactly the same as the poster, isn't it?
And because I'm obviously not a public speaker, Christian isn't. I whisper to Nico and to Henrik and I, we need to find Matt while I'm doing this as well, because I overheard Doris say he's not in school today, because obviously that was our goal. So
yeah, well, make your roll. See if Henrik can.
Do I get 2 bonus dice? Do I get 2 bonus dice for that?
One bonus dice. You only get one bonus dice for helping.
Cool.
Any more kids that help will be.
Just the one, but I can re-roll if I take a thing, right? Can I?
If you spend a point of luck, or if you take a condition.
And also, you've got your pride if that's relevant. You could bring that in for an auto success once per session.
No one calls me chicken. Doesn't really apply, I don't think. I think I'll leave conditions for now. I'll re-roll with my luck for now. Boop. Hey, there we go.
Lovely, yeah. So the crowd sort of turn either way. They do seem to be basically on Doris's side. In what way do you get a lucky break, do you think, Ian, that might mean that they turn towards you and certainly don't know who to believe now, if you see what I mean?
I start having a sort of slight go at Doris dressing up the dog and pampering it and like it's obviously being perfumed and things like that. You can smell perfume coming off this dog, and she's just gone a bit over the top basically, and I don't exactly say she's being cruel to it, but I sort of imply it quite heavily that she's put it through an ordeal to make it look pretty. Yeah, and they'd sort of fall for it because your dishevelled dog actually now has started to look quite cute as it's being passed around. Whereas the look at his big puppy dog eyes.
The pink ribbon one is maybe some of the kids around have brought in some snacks and are thinking, see if I can, and it will easily allow itself to be fed in the condition that it's in now, and so are loving it. And so this sort of dies down. It's going to be time for class now, but as you've noticed, Matt isn't in school today. What's your approach? You have sort of a moment to when the crowds thin out, and you've maybe been to, I don't even know what it is in Swedish schools. Go to form time or in your various different classes, then you have a chance to kind of catch up again with that. Let's just go there. What's your next plan?
We can't walk away around with a dog all day, can we?
And where's Matt?
Yeah. I've never known him to miss a day of school.
I think we should take the dog to Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we should.
How far does Matt live? Does he live the kind of the half-hour distance from where we walk to school kind of distance? Or
I'd say it's maybe 20 minutes away. It's about halfway point on the other side.
I think maybe if we go to our class first, just so everybody knows that we're here when we've been there, and then when it's recess time, it'll take them longer for them to miss us if we run out then. That might be a good opportunity.
Who's taking the dog to class?
Yeah, what's the dog plan?
dog plan.
I mean, Petra seems quite happy in my denim jacket, to be honest. But if someone else wants to take her, then
I mean, how big is Petra? Because I've got an empty bag. Because I didn't bring anything with me.
That's true.
I think she's just a little Scotty dog. That's not the name of them, is it? I know so much about
Highland Terrier, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Highland Terrier. That's the one.
Yeah, she'll fit in my bag.
Okay, I'll
put her in my bag. Cut some biscuits.
Yeah, excellent. You leave some food in there that you're dubious whether it'll be there when you look in your bag again. But yeah, she's quite happy. Almost now she's been fed. Actually, she looks almost quite weirdly calm. For a dog that's in school, you've not seen dogs this calm apart from one of your grandparents maybe has an old aged dog that just sits by the fire and doesn't bother anyone. But it's sort of like that now. So we'll fast forward through class and meet again, sort of halfway through the morning recess. You're going to have to somehow sneak out of the school. Now, what are you going to try and do to do that? What approach are you going to take? It could be different for different players, or it could be you all sort of have the same plan.
Oh, go on. Sorry, go on, guys.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm quickly looking at the PDF surreptitiously off screen, but I noticed that I'm a bit of a leader, so I'm wondering if there's a way I can kind of like come up with a plan together, and then that might help the others out, and they can do their individual bits to get out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's without being too meta about it. I'm looking to use the lead skill, which then might give some other people extra dice they can use, basically.
Okay.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's going to be a sort of group chat, just to put the system on there. It's going to be sort of a group check. So everyone needs to get one success to escape out of school. If you don't, you're going to take a condition. You're still going to escape out of school because obviously the plot needs to happen. But obviously, if those successes can be shared, so if, for instance, Becky, you get 2 successes, but Ian doesn't get any, we can narrate how your extra success gets him out as well, and we'll just throw it all in the mix and work out how it is. But yeah, what your thing will do, Gaz, is give people, if you're successful, an extra dice pool that they can use when they're rolling.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I've got the page on there. So I'm actually going to use my iconic item for this as well, my pack of chewing gum, because there's obviously a teacher that's looking after the kids on the playground and like watchfully keeping around the gate as well to make sure that nobody wanders out into the dangerous roads and like that. But I know that the one thing that Mrs. Johnson hates is chewing gum, which is in fact my iconic item. So I'm going to pull out like some Wrigley's and then be loudly chomping away on it and blowing massive bubbles right near until it goes and pops, and then look it all back in. So she comes over marching to me. So as if people are going to sneak past that bush and then behind the bins and then go and basically by directing all the other kids while she's focused on me. When she sends me away to go and see the headmaster or whatever, that's when I'll run off and like rejoin everybody else afterwards. So distracting the guardian on the gate with my chewing gum is my attempt.
Excellent. Well, your leadership, I think, is what you're
lead. Yeah. 1 success.
Okay. So I think how I'll do that is you can let that be you just escape, or you can translate it into dice, but then someone else is going to have to use their success to bust you out.
I think I'll just use it for my success then. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. So she's giving you a proper dressing down about it, making you sort of making you swallow it or whatever that punishment that people used to do that's not really...
It's ineffective. Yeah.
yeah. And like there's a bag search that she wants to do to check you haven't got any chewing gum. Good job you've not got the dog, I guess, to do that. While the rest, that's a distraction for the rest of you to try and sneak out. So let's see. Whoever's got a good idea can go first, I guess. We don't need to go in order.
Henrik was gone. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Becky.
Oh, thank you. I've got. I'm going to use my bullies to help me get out of school. For a change, they're going to be of purpose. So I am going to very meanly convince some other child to wear my like big hat and scarf and swap coats with them. I probably have to give them like. Do you know what? I probably have to lend them Einstein, my pet rat, for like the rest of the day or something.
Yeah.
So like I trade off Einstein for the day, and I get to wear their coat and stuff, and my bullies like go over and cause even more chaos while Nico's also causing chaos with the teacher on duty. There's also a fight going on as some poor kid is beaten up in the corner, and I use that moment to escape.
Excellent. So you'll have that's probably charm actually to get out, I think.
Okay.
But you can use your iconic item, your pet rat, iconic creature.
So 2 bonus dice.
Yeah.
Does it like live in the hat, and that's why when you lend your hat?
No. I got a 0.
So if you want to, you can hope for a stroke of luck, spend luck.
Well, I'm going to spend some luck, yeah. And I re-rolled, don't I, for that?
Yeah. So you'll get 3 on them all.
Hey.
Fantastic. So I think, I've got an idea for the look, which I think let's invoke the rat here.
Mm-hmm.
That it's really not a distraction. Like the fight that breaks out is right in front of the gate, where everyone's trying to run out, and so quickly other teachers are dispatched to sort of break it up. But the quick thinking of Einstein as he escapes from the hat um, suddenly makes himself obvious to the rest of the children. And there's one particularly mean bully who's terrified of mice and rats. And so suddenly there's a big commotion as all this big crowd of kids are like, there's a rat in school. And they all start as a big like group going like to the other side under where Einstein's leading them. And there's even more teachers are being sort of summoned out. Somebody blows a whistle as there's chaos on the quad as Einstein leads them a merry dance. So you can escape, and there's an extra success banked as well for Christian or Hendrik
Well done, Einstein.
Make that thing. So yeah, go into that. Should we go to John next? Christian, how does Christian escape?
I'm going to go to the library, the school library, because I've kind of developed a good rapport with I guess Mrs. Erickson, the librarian, and I know that she's got some, I don't know what you call them these days. There's some slips that you can fill in like that give you authorized to get out of school, and I'm gonna go see her, and I'm gonna ask her for some books that I know that might be hard to find or might not be in, that kind of thing, yeah. and hope that while she's grabbing them, because she trusts me, because I'm the kid who's in the library a lot reading books, that I can just reach over and grab a couple of them. I try and grab more than one, if I can, in case anybody else needs one. But I definitely try and just get one, and then I'll fill in that I've got to go and pick up my sister, and kind of like squiggle a teacher's name on it, that kind of thing, and in the hope that it will pass muster. That's my plan.
Excellent. So it's sneak. I think you roll for that because you are stealing something.
Okay, I'll do my best. So I just click on sneak, don't I? Then here.
Yeah, and it should just roll.
Oh, no bonus dice. One success.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, she goes off deep into the stacks to find this book, muttering about how she might need to order it from the library in Stockholm and stuff. And you're able to get a big. I think you maybe get a wad of them, but then drop some as you're going out, and have to quickly scratch that in and somehow get a teacher's attention while all this chaos is going on, and they sign you out and go and open the gate for you to get through.
Sorry.
Excellent. Henrik, what's your attempt to escape?
Well, Henrik did have an amazing plan that involved like the BMX ramp at the school, like getting everyone to like sort of do bigger and bigger tricks and like sort of cause some chaos. But since Becky has since Ida has so well distracted everyone at the front of the school gate, he's just going to pick his BMX up and sort of walk past everything that's going on and walk out.
Excellent. I mean, you can do that without rolling. We've got a spare success. You've reminded me. Yeah. So yeah, you're able to wheel it out with that.
Yeah.
And soon we can like round the corner.
Tiny dog popping his head out of the bag.
Yeah. I'm doing that. You can sort of reconvene. So you've got Petra, in your bag, and you're going to go to Matt's house, I think, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So a short walk away. Around the very quiet sort of midday streets, looking sort of this way and that, and checking that there isn't anyone who you know out who might ask you questions about why you're not in school at the moment. You get to Matt's house. Now, the first thing you notice is that there are no cars in the drive at all. As you sort of cautiously, this is a sort of wood-framed 2-story house. Sort of a lot of it's sort of picket fences. The garden, there's a drive, very sort of well appointed. This is a nice suburban area, and the Loop pays well for its employees, and pretty much everyone works somewhere at the Loop or associated with it. As you approach, I'm going to actually ask you to again just all roll investigate. There's a couple of things to notice, and I want to decide sort of who notices them, and this might be a different one.
Wow. I have to investigate.
We're all very keen to find out what's going on in here.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, so is that...
They do say I'm the most curious person alive, though.
Yeah.
That's what you think. Right. So, Ida, I think you're the first to notice the first thing, which is that actually Matt's is in the up in the sort of first story window. You can actually see Matt's in there. You recognise him from school. He seems to see you approach and like duck down immediately behind the window and hide.
Oh,
While that happens,
stop midway.
yeah, while that happens, Christian, you notice there's some movement just in the garden to the side, and as you sort of peer around, you notice Matt is there as well.
Okay.
And he's sort of banging on the door, like almost to try and get in, but almost if he's trying to actually break in. And he sort of sees you, and just looks away and tries to ignore you and carries on like furiously banging on the door to try and get in.
Matt, you're all right, mate?
Yeah.
I got your dog.
This is what
Pulls out dog.
I'm like, he can't hear you. He's upstairs inside. We need to knock on the door.
But he's there too.
He's here.
Yeah, he's right there.
He just leave me alone. I need to get in. I lost my key. I need to get back in. And he takes a run up and starts kicking the door down for it. It's like,
wow, Maz, your parents were really cross if you keep the door in. We do it.
So I just need to get in there. I think someone's maybe broken in. We need to get in. We need to get in the house and deal with them.
Ida's looking very confused. She's like, but you were just inside.
He's just carrying on, like booting at the door, beating up. It doesn't seem like you're going to get much sense out of him.
Is that the side door or the front door?
Yeah, like the side door of it. Like,
can I go up to the front door and see if there's like the usual spare key under a plant pot, stone, bell?
I like it. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I think. Do you want to roll again? It'd be investigate that. And find if there's a spare key left.
Yeah, I got a success.
Yeah, indeed, there is. Looking under all the plant pots and stuff, you find that there is actually a key there. While you're searching, though, this is Matt's outside. He's like, just leave me alone. I need to get back in. Unless you're going to help, don't just stand there.
I'm going to be trying to like calm him down. I like talking down, going, yeah, look, we can help you, but we need to do this properly. Like, you'll get in so much trouble if you break the door. Like, come on, it's got to be a cleverer way of doing this. Like, between us, we come up with look, here's little Petra, and I'll like sort of signal for Henrik to come over and show the dog and stuff. And say, look, we've got Petra. Like, let's just take her. You're going to frighten the dog if you keep banging and shouting like that.
Okay, do you want to roll me an empathise? You can get an extra dice for Petra.
In the meantime, Henrik's going to sort of stand between Matt and the door, so he stops kicking it down.
And
So I'm not a bully, but I am much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Christian's looking worried because this is kind of like quite stressful, and he's more looking around. Are people seeing this? Are the neighbours twitching curtains, or is there anybody coming? It's kind of like starting to get, we're going to get in trouble, guys. We're going to get in trouble, kind of vibe.
Yeah, my empathy doesn't stretch to people being unreasonable. It seems. Just calm down, will you? What's wrong with you? People always listen to me, and I'm very upset that he's not listening to me like everybody else normally does.
Well, in fact, that happens. He turns a bit on you then, and it's like just pushes it. Just go away. Just leave me alone. Poking it in my business. Start whacking at some. I'm actually going to give you a condition. I'm going to make you upset.
I'm going to. Henrik is going to intervene. I'm going to pass the dog off to Ida, who's got the key. Can you hold this a minute? Oh, I'm just going to like. I mean, how big am I compared to Matt? I'm going to guess I'm a bit bigger.
Yeah, a bit bigger. Yeah,
I'm basically going to sort of like grab him, like pick him up off his feet. Like, calm down, okay? We're going to get the sword. Just calm down.
Excellent. A different approach here, which I think I'm going to roll with probably force.
Yeah,
that's how you lift heavy things. So give us a force check.
Yep.
Again, you can get the bonus dice because you've got a dog with you. That helps.
No. All doggers are helpful. Only one success, boo. But, it's a success, so hey.
That is enough, though. And as you're talking to him, the two of you, you do notice that it looks a little bit different to the mats you remember. It's got one blue and one green eye. Apart from that, it looks identical to the mats you remember. But you managed to sort of calm him down a little bit. And he says, I just need to get back in. Somebody's locked me out. I don't know. My parents must have gone to work. I just need to get back in and see what's happening in there.
Can I like try and have a quiet word with Christian? And just because we're the two quieter ones who are not like actively being involved in manhandling Matt, and I'm just gonna be like, Matt's already in the house. Matt's already in there. There's like 2 Matts. Like there's 2 Petras.
Oh.
I don't think we should I don't know whether we should give this Matt the key, because I don't know if this is Matt or if Matt's inside.
Are we going to get in trouble if we go inside and talk to other Matt? I don't know.
He seems a lot calmer than this Matt.
Okay. Well, the dogs didn't fight. Maybe we should go and get him.
How did Petra react to this Matt?
Pretty calm. In fact, ever since you sort of calmed down, Petra's been really calm. Almost any, quite happy to be passed around. Didn't no recognition, particularly from it. So you two have got a moment, because obviously what was going on with the sort of with Henrik and Nico took a little bit of time. While that's going on, Christian and Ida, you've got a bit of time to yourself. You could go into the house by the front door if you wanted to while this was going on.
Yeah, I think we should. What do you think?
Let's not go too far in. Let's just go inside and maybe just try and get him to come downstairs.
Yeah, okay. And we'll lock the door behind us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Great.
And you're able to sort of get in, so that, and then maybe sneak upstairs to where you find Matt, just sat on his bed. He's saying, I just don't want to, like, someone's trying to get in. Somebody's trying to get into the house.
Oh, okay. You and I just look. I just look over to Christian, like,
Did when you were talking about the eyes of the one downstairs, did me and Ida notice that as well, or was it just Nico and Henrik who saw that because they were close up with him?
Yeah, it was just the two of them that noticed.
Right. Okay, so we haven't seen that.
However, this Matt looks exactly like Matt. As you look a bit closer, he's got sort of a blonde streaks in his hair. One side of his hair was normally sort of mousy brown, but one side of it has got all blonde streaks in it. And he says, "I don't just want to get my dog back, but it's dangerous outside now."
Dangerous outside? Oh.
Here's your dog.
We've got your dog.
Oh, but what is that it? And sort of goes into that. Do you want to make me an empathise roll to try and get some sense out of Matt's, the inside Matt's?
Both of us are.
Well, one of you roll, and then you can get an extra dice for the dog, and you get extra dice for helping if you like, because you're both sort of doing it. I think.
Do you want to roll, and I'll help, and just kind of keep agreeing with you and going.
Okay.
She's right.
I got. Oh wait, I was supposed to roll an extra dice, wasn't I? I got a success anyway.
That's enough. You manage to sort of calm him down a little bit and get some sense out of him. He's very confused, and he definitely doesn't want to go outside. And he tells you that his memory seems quite sketchy as well. He remembers going to see someone he talks about as Johan, who's like that. He gets on with Johan. He took Petra with him to play because Johan's got a dog that they like to do it, but then he can't remember. They went around, and then he remembers running away from another big angry dog. But then he sort of breaks down. He says he can't remember. He said, "Oh, maybe I fell and hit my head or something. I don't know, but I don't want to go back outside there." And there's somebody like trying to get in as well, although they're banging stop now. There was all that shouting.
Yeah. Maybe you did bang your head. And I'll like try and have a closer look at that area of his hair that is got the blonde streak. I'll be like, it looks like something's a bit different here. Let me have a look, see if I can check. Yeah,
well, that is his hair. Just looks like blonde hair, but on the back of his neck, there's a birthmark that again looks remarkably like the Reich's Energy logo and some numbers. Now you look at it again, it's got some numbers at the bottom as well.
Okay.
At that revelation, let's cut back to outside. Matt's is sort of calmed down and a little bit more sensible now. It's like, well, but they won't let me in. I'm locked out of my own house. All I need to do is get in.
Okay. It's all right. We'll get you in. I'm still like holding him.
But why have you come here anyway? Why do you need to get in? We're supposed to be at school. We brought your dog back to you at school.
Oh, is your dog in? Yeah. I don't. Oh, is it Monday? Oh, yeah. I thought maybe I should go to school. Yeah, maybe I should. And he starts like kind of. One thing that both of you noticed is that one of the things that you knew about Matt's is he wore like a Bon Jovi jacket all the time, in the way that kids will have an item of clothing they always wear. Ironic Iron Maiden t-shirt, for instance. Neither of these Matts are wearing it at the moment. And as he sort of messes around and looks to see, like, oh, maybe my uniform's here, maybe my school stuff's in here. When I get in, I can get my books and go into school. You notice the same on the back of his neck. He's got little Reich's Energy logo, some numbers at the bottom as well. It says, yeah. Then I can go to school and see if. Did you say you got my dog? Where's Petra?
Oh yeah, we've got her. We'll bring her to you later. Okay.
Well,
I'm giving Nico a look of kind of like, what's going on?
I'm going.
He says, well, can you help me get in anyway? And he starts like kicking the door. If we all like push together.
Hey, let's not kick the door again, okay? Or I'll pick you up again. You don't want me to pick you up again, do you?
All right.
Well, let me try all the other entrances and see if like there's a loose window or something.
Yeah, I'll stay here with you, Matt, and Nico go and do that, okay?
And then I'm going to go around the front, try and find the others.
I'm keeping a sort of eye out on the front and like seeing if there's anyone else coming, cars passing, that kind of thing. Anyone sort of like noticing the commotion that's going on here.
So I think what we can do now is we can sort of hard cut to a scene. I'll leave it up to you guys as to how you arrange this, whether you want both Mats in the same place or you want to deliberately try and keep them apart. But probably we'll cut to a point where you're all there. Are you letting them meet each other, or what's the idea that you've got?
Ida would not want to let them meet each other. She's freaked out by seeing two Mats, so she's like, if I'm freaked out seeing two Mats, how are two Mats going to feel about seeing two Mats, you know?
Yeah, Christian's he's got very stressed out about the Matt outside being very aggressive, but he's also the same kind of kid that if Henrik and Nico say they should be together, he will probably not argue with that because he doesn't want to cause a scene kind of thing. And then Ida will obviously be let down by that reaction, but that's what Christian's like. He'll go, anything for a quiet life.
Henrik doesn't want to bring them together at all. He's like sort of sat Matt down outside in the snow and trying to get him to calm down and like literally cool him down. Excellent. He doesn't know what else to do.
I was just going to thought, what's this Matt's told you? Inside Matt's.
Go on.
He said he was that his friend. Do we know who Johan is? Guy at all? I don't know. He said he was at Johan's house.
I think you've heard of him. He's a man who lives in the village. Old retired. Used to work at the Loop.
Yeah. Right. He was at old man Johan's house. He was at Johan's house, and he was talking about he's got patchy memory loss. And he thinks he might have hit his head, and he remembers there being kind of big dogs as well. But that's why he seems to be acting very differently than the other one outside, if that makes sense. Very weird.
But this one's calm, right? Maybe we can send the other one to school, and this one looks like he needs a rest. And then, if we keep us separated like that, that gives us the rest of the day to try and sort out what's going on.
Do you think you could convince the angry Matt to go to school?
Yeah. If I grab his books and a bag and some other stuff now, I reckon I can. Well, if I can't, then Henrik's gonna basically throw him to school from here.
Right.
A big lump is, and we can sort that out.
Yeah, okay. So I think we'll let it ride. You've made the roll to sort of deal with the Mats. I think with that plan you can pack the outside Mats off to school, Well, I'm sure he'll have a great day, given how angry he is at everyone. I know he's solving all his problems.
Doris has got his dog, so he'll be fine when he gets there.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, he'll only be angry with Boris.
Yeah, the school's already on high alert. There's already a massive fight at break time, and there's a rat
And there's
running
a
around
rat,
somewhere. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. So you want to pat him off. I think one other thing that you find in the house as you're sort of getting this map, the inside mats to sleep and stuff, the voicemail machine for the land. Well, it wasn't even a landline back then. But the phone is flashing, and when you play it, it's a message from the pet shop. The local pet shop, Linda's Pet Store. Just saying, the first message is sort of saying, yeah, we think we've had a dog handed in. We think we found Petra. So if you could come and collect, that'd be great. And then there's a series of like 3 more messages, basically saying the same thing, getting more urgent and saying, yeah, we don't want to. We're really happy when you pick this up. Can you come in immediately and pick up Petra? I know you'd be desperate to see her, but we do need to come and pick her up. Because we found her and we can only keep her so long, if you see what I mean. But it's flashing from there, and then you've got a moment like all together in the garden to decide what your next step is. And I'm going to suggest you might want to do that after we take a quick 10-minute break. So we'll cut this out, listeners at home, but we'll just pause for a moment, get a drink, get a bit of a rest and respite, and then we'll come back and plan what the next step is. See you in a few. And welcome back. When we left our kids, they had dealt with 2 mats and had already encountered 2 Petra, Matt's dogs, packing one off to school, where I'm sure he'll pass without incident, and leaving one at home, waiting for maybe his parents to come back. And had a moment to sort of plan what they were going to do with the rest of the day. They've already decided to skip school, not endorsed by the by us on this channel at all, by the way. Skip school to go and investigate the strange goings on with Matt and his dog. So we'll join them maybe as you're in the streets outside Matt's house, as you have a decision of what to do. You found out that the last thing Matt could remember was visiting old Johan. Old man who used to work at the loop at the facility. You'd also heard a voicemail from the pet shop asking somebody from the house to come and pick up Petra from there. Yeah, that's sort of what you have from there. So as we come and explain, get into lunchtime, those of you that have got packed lunches left that have evaded the attention of Petra can start to eat them. But as you do this, what's the plan of action? Maybe we'll go to our sort of our most thoughtful and risk-averse kid first. Maybe Christian. What's on Christian's mind as the next part of attack?
So Christian's already slightly stressed about being out of school when he shouldn't be. But he's also, as part of his background, he wants to kind of like. He loves the idea of being brave and having something to brag about and be cool, but he's just never took the risk to do it. So he's thinking this might be his moment. If Matt has gone to sleep upstairs or is relaxing, he'd quite like to, during this time while we're planning what's next, is feign getting a first aid kit and try and write the numbers down so that we've got those numbers with us, from the thing on the back of his neck, that kind of thing, and then start talking to people about saying what we know where the pet shop is, but do we know where Johan is or how to find him? Because the pet shop seems less risky to Christian, because it's kind of like it's a shop, whereas going to an old guy's house feels slightly stressful to him. But again, Christian will go with the crowd because that's the kind of guy he is. We'll mutter about it, start at the back. So he's leaning towards pet shop, but because he feels like it's safer.
What about the man of action, Henrik? What are you thinking?
Well, we need that stuff. What's called if we're going to prove a thing, evidence. That's the one. Evidence. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So I think you're right. We should go to the pet shop, get a second dog, and then we've got 2 dogs, and then we can go look. There's 2 dogs, and they look exactly the same, and that's weird. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah.
Cool. Is that an agreement from the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Pet Shop Boys actually is playing in the background on the radio or something like that, just to kind of like really hammer it home. And I wouldn't like. I'm sure Max's parents wouldn't want us to go hungry, so the devastatingly lack of food that's allowed. So I'll just get a loaf and loads of peanut butter and jelly or whatever the economy is. Maybe some yellow pea soup in the fridge or something with some bacon I can share around everybody. But I'll make sure everybody gets fed, which is one of the reasons I keep my popularity. And then we're gonna head over to the pet shop.
Excellent. So, hard cut to the pet shop. It's a small sort of family animal shelter come pet shop on the edge of town. It seems to be quite busy as you arrive, though. Some of you maybe know Linda, the proprietor of it. She runs it with her father, Rune. And she's running sort of this way and that in quite a commotion. As you come in, she doesn't even challenge the fact that you should be at school. She says, "Oh, hi, kids. And I'm sorry, we're very busy at the moment. Can I help you? Oh, you haven't found another one, have you?" And looks quite shocked. And from behind, in the sort of the workings of the pet shop, you can hear lots of excited yapping, very similar to that might come from a small little Highland Terrier like Petra. And as you maybe come into the pet shop and look around, you can see stored in various sort of those little rescue cages around the back room, at least 6 or 7 Petras are there, all sort of yapping excitedly at your entrance. The other Petra is still looking a little bit like confused about what's happening, but does sort of join in and yap. You're not fine. I'm afraid we're quite short of space. Maybe if you could go to.
Oh no, we're keeping this one.
Yeah. Excellent. Do you want to? Can I? If you want one, I mean, dogs can get very lonely of that breed, and so you might.
Oh,
want
right,
to,
okay.
I mean,
Ooh.
you might want to take another 1 or 2 or 3.
I'm not
Maybe.
sure I get another in my bag. Might be a little uncomfortable for it.
Maybe we should take them all. Do you think there's a reward for each of the dogs we take back? Like, because that's
Genius.
even more money. We could take them all, I say.
Well,
I'm
maybe we should. I don't want to sound like an expert, but maybe we should check their bottoms first. I'll say archly and probably get like a weird look from Linda.
You get a weird look from Linda, but from the back of the store, her aging father steps forward and says, "That might be a wise. So you might know about the birthmarks. They've all got them. Quite unusual, this litter.
Do they
So
all
many
look
I'm
just a
showing.
little bit different from each other?
It's funny you should say that. They all do. You should be careful, kids. And shouldn't you be at school? Anyway.
It's an inset day.
Permission slip.
Shouldn't the rest of you be at school? Yeah.
Just loads.
Just,
Nico's just got them on him.
says there's something I think these are probably what you'll find is these are wild dogs from near the Reichs Energy facility that have bred themselves and are now getting escaped. It's probably best if you don't take them all. They are obviously wild animals, and at this point, like they all go quiet. Just like, and show no sign of being feral at all.
Oh,
It's almost like they understand what you're saying.
Do you know the numbers that I wrote down that were on Matt's neck? Do they match the numbers that are on Petra that we've got, or are they different at all, or are they the same numbers?
So, well, if you want to examine them, I think it's a great opportunity to use the best skill in Tales from the Loop, calculate, to solve some maths problems as you look for some patterns among the numerical clues here.
Would you like me to roll calculate?
Roll calculate. Yeah, Rune is like, oh yeah, this is what they are. And looks at them.
Did you adjust your glasses and say calculating?
I don't do well, but I could. I can spend a point of luck to re-roll that, can't I?
You can, yeah, you can.
I'll attempt to do that. So I just click on re-roll and see that.
Okay.
And that
Fantastic. So you don't seem to see any pattern between them, and you're desperately trying to do maths to try and work out what's going on with them. Before you notice that actually it's not about the pattern of them; that they're all in the same sort of. It's a sequence of 6 digits, and while they're not sequential, they all follow the same sort of pattern. All the ones that you found so far have got the first 2 digits of 0, but it looks as if those digits could increase. Like there's room for those digits to go up as they do it. None of them are like 0000001 either.
Okay.
They're all in the sort of tens minimum, and there's a couple that look to be in the 30s as well from it.
Okay.
While this is happening, maybe Nico, as you're like, chatting to Linda and Rune as you did, do you want to make me an empathize roll just to see if you can get the vibe from here?
I will attempt to get the vibe. But I'm still upset, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's hard to read what's happening. Linda seems sort of unconcerned, and Rune obviously knows what's happening.
I'm gonna say a little bit. Maybe we could take these dogs. Like, if we can keep them all together, and perhaps we could go back to our hideout. I'll suggest to the kids, and give them like a little home to run around in. We can't keep them all in cages like this. Maybe we could do that.
Yeah, we could take some. Sure. I don't think we could take all of them though. Quite difficult to take all of them back.
I think we should keep them together.
Yeah. Okay.
At that, Rune says, he says, "Oh, actually, you know who might be good for it? That Thor's getting on a bit, isn't he? For old man Johann's dog, you could maybe drop 1 or 2 round to him. He'll need the company when Thor passes, living out all on his own. And actually, yeah, he used to work at the facility. He might know what's going on. I know how to deal with these."
Have you sent anybody else with dogs over to that house?
So no, we haven't. No.
Oh right, okay, good to know.
And people have been bringing these dogs in all day.
Yeah, people keep finding them out on the streets around the town. They're all different. Probably it's standard, says Linda. They're just like different pups in the same litter. They all look a little bit different, but they're all the same. And obviously, birthmarks are the kind of thing that are hereditary. And you see, you can tell. I think even without the empathize, you can tell Rune looks a little bit uneasy at this, as if he's agreeing to sort of convince himself that this is what's happened.
Right.
He says, "Yeah, if you can take some of these dogs off our hands, and then maybe see if Johann wants to look after a couple, so he doesn't get lonely."
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got one of those pull along trolley things that we could put like the cages in? We can take them all with us, or just take those dogs in it.
Leads
Leads?
would be good.
Leads
could work as well.
Yeah.
I was going to attach them to the back of my bike, but Leeds is good.
Yeah, so you're able to procure whatever dog paraphernalia you need to safely transport these dogs, which again are very calm once you get them out. They don't seem to be any trouble at all. And so you're going to go to your hideout, is that right?
Yeah.
First, and sort of set them up, and then maybe okay. So your hideout. Do you want to just give me some details of what is your hideout? We haven't really talked about it before. You'll have a hideout somewhere to work with. Becky, what do you think it looks like, your hideout for your gang?
I think it is very basic, and we think it like blends in really well. Like no adults would be able to see it, but probably every adult knows where we go when we go to our hideout. But we think we've done a really good job of making it unfindable.
Excellent. Gaz, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like an old crofter's place, so it's quite a basic hut that's got a lot of chicken wire around it. So that's what I was thinking. Like, we can put all the dogs in the yard, like our free range puppies, which is nice. But then inside, I guess we've all got something that we've used to personalise it and make it our own. So for mine, it's it's like the school picture from last year, where they took the picture of all the kids. But I got one of the computer nerds to do like a fisheye lens on it, so I'm like really big, or like really pronounced compared to everybody else, and like other people fade away to the background a bit. So that's like I've got like us at the school or whatever on it, but it's like obviously just magnifying myself, and Doris is kind of like really squeezed out to
I'm
one
right
side.
at the back. Yeah. Not bad at all. Brilliant. Yeah. So Henrik, what have you added to it? Henrik and Christian, what little additions have you made to the hideout?
So outside for Henrik, there's a really, really rubbish sort of like handmade little BMX tracky thing with some jumps for him to practice all that stuff. And inside, there's like a couple of pictures like sort of Evil Knievel on the wall, that kind of thing, sort of like stuntmen.
Lovely, lovely. What about Christian? How's the bookworm decorated this?
There's a couple of rolled up maps in there, and there's a tripod as well. There's a really old tripod that was his dad's, and he sometimes brings, if his mum doesn't spot him, he sometimes digs out his dad's telescope and brings it down, like if they're here in the evening, that kind of thing, to kind of like look at the night sky, that kind of thing as well. So
lovely, lovely. And so you head back there. You're going to try and create some kind of. I think I'm going to say you probably need to do a bit of sort of adapting of this chicken wire to get a sort of dog. It's not a dog pound, is it? But whatever, like a place to maybe keep them safe in there. That's probably a tinker roll. I would think so. I don't know who wants to take the lead with that.
I'm good at directing people on doing it, but not actually doing the work. So
Ida is more concerned about checking which of these dogs might be male and female, and making sure that we actually create 2 separate pens so that we don't end up with like hundreds.
Yeah.
So she's going to be like, wait, okay, that's a boy.
Yeah. Yeah, carefully checking each dog with it. Excellent. Yeah. So somebody make a tinker roll. Can be anyone who's
not
everyone
me.
Everyone checks the character sheets if they've got it. I can't remember if I gave anyone tinker.
I think by default we're going to make Henrik do it because I'm sorry, not Henrik, Christian.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it, but he's a talker rather than a doer. But he will have a go. He's not.
Okay. You can have an extra dice of help from Ida checking the.
Okay.
We're not going to see the consequences of this roll until you've left the dogs alone and you're supposedly secure. Like run, obviously.
Yes. Okay. So I can add bonus dice 1 then. Is that right?
Yeah. For your help.
I mean, I think we're all equally bad at this, so I don't feel terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, I've only got 2 in it.
Yeah.
He's not done well. Do you want me to attempt to re-roll that, or do you think? Would you like?
I mean, Henrik can have a go.
It's up to you. I'm happy for there to be consequences later as well.
Yeah.
I think we did a great job. Well
done.
I
quite like the idea that Christian's quite proud of it because everybody asked him to do it, and he thinks he's made a good job of it, but doesn't realise it's going to fall apart later. The dog just push it, and just go straight to the fence straight away. The whole thing just falls over.
It's just like a piece of
chicken wire's like this big,
a piece of corrugated cardboard in front of a hole or something, and like a bucket or something that's definitely not going to help.
Yeah. Excellent. And so you can also spend some time at the hideout. So Nico, you can. Whatever sort of leisure activity you're able to do while you're there, you're able to stop being upset anymore. The heartening sight of your fisheye portrait restores you to being the kid you were before. So we'll say that you know where Johann's house is as well. You've got sort of a couple of options. You could go to Johann's house, or I mean, you know that it's something to do with the facility nearby Rijksenergie, so you could go straight there.
So we could skip the big scary dog, or we could go deal with the big scary dog.
Oh no! So Johann has got a dog that's not a big scary dog. That's an old, nice dog.
Oh, it's a nice big dog.
Yeah, where Mats was explaining that they were running away from a nasty dog. That wasn't at Johann's house.
Well, maybe we should go and check Johann's okay, and then go to the facility.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we should take him a dog as well. Which one do we like the least?
I'll look around for a puppy that's currently weeing against something. I got that one.
That one, great.
Yeah, because didn't Linda say that? Was it Linda at the pet shop?
Yeah.
Who said about he might want a younger dog because is it Thor's getting quite
Thor's
old
on
now?
the way out. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Usually gives them a new lease of life as well. So it'll be the best last couple of years of his life. Be great.
Oh, we talk about Johann and Thor. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so you're able to make your way to Johan's lives in a house on the sort of outskirts of town, the side the facility's on, and you're able to make your way there. As you approach the sort of cottage, you do notice his dog there. There's a greying Doberman sort of padding around, pays you like no mind whatsoever as you go in. There's a little bit more attention paid to the dogs that you've got with you, but it's just a sort of semi-curious sniff. And as you sort of approach, Johan, a friendly, smiling old man, comes to the door and says, "Hi, can I help you? What's that you've got there?" Oh, surprised Thor hasn't reacted to that, but he's a friendly sort, really. And you see Thor, his little dog, sort of come up to him with that. He says, "Can I help you, kids?"
Yeah. So, our friend Matt visited you recently. Remember him? Had a dog that looked very much like this with him.
Yeah, a few days ago he visited. Yeah, I've not seen. Is he okay? I've not seen him since.
He's a bit out of sorts.
Yeah.
He's beside himself, some might say.
Hey.
He says, "Oh, well, I guess you'd better come in." And he sort of gets the kettle on. He says, "Yeah," and he starts sort of wittering on as he gets you into the cottage. It's clear that this is it's clear that he did used to work at the facility, because he's got like papers and stuff piled up, all covered with like Reich's Energy logos and stuff that he's done. And he sort of, as he sees your eyes sort of go to it, he says, "Oh yeah, I used to work at the facility. Keep him around just for old time's sake, really. Nothing much there, but yeah, I'll get a drink anyway, and you can see what's going on."
I'll sort of like cast my around all the things, really, obviously, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to him and keep him busy, basically. "Oh, you must have loads of stories as your time when you were working there. Why didn't you start at the beginning? When did you first see the advertisement for the job?" And I'm just going to I'm going to try and charm him into give me all his old man stories.
About that. Excellent. Yeah, he starts playing about the paper that was there. Roll me a charm for that. You can have. I think you can have an extra dice for for bringing a dog that looks just like Max's.
One success.
And he says, "Oh well, of course, it wasn't the papers that we have these days. You used to see little signs up in the post office. They had just opened the loop when I started, and this fades away, and our camera cuts back to his sort of tumble down living room where there are these piles of papers everywhere. There's an old computer on there that's obviously seen better days from there. Yeah, are you gonna have a proper look at this?"
Ida definitely is. She's straight in.
Sounds like an Ida thing. Do you want to roll me an investigate as you look through?
Yes, I would love to.
Christian's going to be following around, peeping over her shoulder while she's...
Excellent. Have an extra dice, in fact, for that. That's cool.
Lovely. Oh, that's bad. But I'm going to get lucky, I think.
Cool.
Do I re-roll for luck?
Yeah, just click re-roll and it'll do all the dice again.
Oh my goodness. 8 dice, 0 success. I think probably what happens is can I say what I think gets Ida a little bit? So she starts off looking for stuff, and then she's looking around and she's like, "This isn't really a place for this little puppy that we've brought." And so she starts making a bed and like finding some food in a bowl and bowls, like some old saucers that he's got, and just gets totally distracted by making a place for the dog rather than actually looking for anything useful.
Excellent. Yeah. And in fact, the puppy is immediately going towards the big teetering piles of paper. There's a lot of sort of going on with it. While this is happening, Henrik, what are you up to while this is going on?
Henrik's making a sort of show of helping out, looking through the papers, but doesn't really understand what a lot of the symbols are. He's mostly looking for pictures, like if there's pictures of dogs and like the logo that's on their butt. He's mostly looking for that.
I think it's a different enough approach that I'll let you investigate or comprehend, which are probably equally not many dice. But yeah, see if you find something.
Sorry, comprehend or investigate. It doesn't really matter. I'll just pick one. I'm equally bad at both. I could re-roll that. I am going to re-roll that and get upset that I can't read, and I'm like my reading comprehension is like really causing a problem here.
Yeah,
like,
you're looking through. It means nothing.
I'm not able to help. Get like a wee shot. Nah. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know, I'm upset about it. I like sort of knock a pile of papers over and like go back to like paying attention to Thor and Petra too.
So yeah, I've been retired. I've been retired 4 or 5 years now. I still go back there. So I like to keep my hand in there. Matt's always used to ask about this. Where is he anyway? That's not Petra you've brought, is it?
No, this is Puddles for you.
Oh.
Yes. Have you got any games on your computer?
No, it doesn't run games. Sorry, just used to print like security pass and stuff. But yeah, Matt's. I hope he's okay. He came around a few days ago. He wanted to know all about the facility where I worked as well. Wanted to know all about it, all the robots we had working there and everything. Oh, I don't. He seemed very keen to go and explore it, but I told him you better not. It's very dangerous.
What sort of robots does it have? Those sound really cool.
Oh, just the basic ones from there.
I'm like looking at Ida, looking at the computer, looking at Ida, looking at the computer.
He says, "Yeah." He just, I was so keen for him to not go. It's so dangerous. I made sure he knew exactly. So he pulls out of one of the piles. He says, "You see, so there's lots of loot facilities around it, and I told him this is the one. This is the facility I worked at. Very dangerous. That's the one to avoid because it's so dangerous." People talk about health and safety now. They don't understand it. It's very dangerous if you go to places like that.
Where is it so that we don't go there?
Yeah. And what's the safest way to get into it? Should one want to do such a thing?
Or to get away from it? Yeah.
Where's the main gate? So we definitely don't go.
Yeah.
Ida would like to have a go at the computer if it looks like something that she could try while this is going on.
Yeah, definitely. This program is what you'd roll to do that.
Yeah, I aren't good at this stuff. But she's going to try.
Can I help her with that at all?
Too quick.
You can do. If you want to roll an extra d6, Becky, you can stick there.
Should I just press re-roll? That's the same as getting an extra one, isn't it? Because I don't have... Or is it? No, because it'll be 2.
No, it'll give you the 2 because you got that.
I'd already rolled it, so that doesn't matter. But I will. I'm going to use luck again. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get upset about it probably. I'm gonna get. Yeah, I'm gonna get upset that like this is my thing. This is what I'm good at, the investigating side, and like I already did really badly with that. So I'm gonna get upset that I'm not helping, and I'll be even more upset when I fail miserably to even turn the computer on again.
He says, "Yeah, it probably needs some stuff from the facility. I should go down and pick that up, so and get it back working." Sorry, kids. He says, "Yeah." He sketches a sort of. He shows you the map that he gave to that he gave to Matt. He said, "I was really clear to stay away from it. Really dangerous, these old buildings. You don't know what's happened with them, and sometimes you just need to be careful around them."
Okay, well, we'll definitely not do that. But if you're happy with your new little friend, maybe try the puppy out for a bit and see how he gets on. We should be going, I think. I'll look around at everybody being upset and all the rest of it. I'll sort of waggle my eyebrows at Christian because he doesn't seem to have.
Yeah, Christian's wondering whether we've had our opportunity at the computer, haven't we? Really, because he's finished talking now. Yeah. Just checking. Okay.
Could we?
I'm gonna just shout out as we're leaving and be like, make sure you put some paper down. She's called Puddles for a reason.
This is okay. Very well.
Unless you is there any chance of a drink before we head off? Do you have? Would that be okay? Would you?
Oh yeah, I've got some juice here. Yeah. I used to keep it around for Matt, so I hope he's okay. As he goes to get a drink for you from there.
Does it distract him long enough at all for us to do anything else at all in this room, or is he in? I don't know if this room's big enough to. I don't. Yeah, I don't know how big his house is.
So I'll keep him occupied if you want to do something.
Yeah. Try a program. If you want to play about with the computer, see if there's anything useful, you can try a program.
Yeah, it's kind of like I have the pride that I'm the smartest kid in school, and I'm determined to kind of like prove that now, kind of thing. So
Excellent. Yeah.
I'm going to help you as well by being like, I did this and it really didn't work.
Don't press that. Don't press that there.
Don't start there.
If I was to use the pride, I'm the smartest kid in school, would that? How do you say we use that? As in you
get an extra success, so you can still roll, but then you'll get an extra success.
I'm going to use that because I kind of feel like Christian keeps kind of being really kind of like conservative about things and not doing things, and he feels like this might be a point where he can shine and get something to help. So, do I need to roll what was it again? Was it
program?
You might get some extra successes. You see.
Yeah.
So I will roll program. Yeah. So that gives me 1 success plus my pride one. So that's 2 successes.
So you have 2 successes. That's enough really to work out not just what this machine is, but to actually trigger it. It's an old computer, and you've not seen stuff like this before, and it's really hard to see what it would be useful for. And actually, you begin to think that maybe, that you're not quite sure what Johan's job was at the facility. Maybe it was like a security card, because the main thing that this seems, it's got a little printer in it, and as you sort of play about and try a few things, a little sort of magnetic sort of pass card pops out with a little code on it that you can like just take. That seems like it might open something.
We'll quickly put that in my pocket, but make sure I see where that we've got that. So
and then it starts sort of beeping and stuff, and you have to like lean over and unplug it at the wall.
Unplug it at the wall. Pile of books falls over at the same time.
I'll pat Christian on the back.
As we get a little image of has he got like Johan when he was 27 or something on the book?
Exactly. Brilliant. Yeah, it's got Johan, a really nice face of Johan, like 30 years ago, that's been stored on with a thing, with today's date weirdly on it. Still. Cool. So you can quickly drink your drinks that you asked for. I'm thirsty now, actually, and you can get off. So is it where the facility is? Mm-hmm. It's now getting, I think, probably to be sort of afternoon. So you think you've probably got time to go there now, but you don't want to be staying here too late after dark, if you see what I mean. So you can certainly go to the facility though. We've got time to cover it all in one day, I think. And so facility, as you look at it in the sort of fading afternoon light, there's a chain link fence all around, and then there's a solitary sort of concrete bunker type building in the middle of it. Within past the fence, everything's overgrown. The plants seem to have just about taken over. There's the occasional sort of rusty bit of machinery here and there. The road that went into it. In terms of the facility itself, it's not a huge building. It's more like a sort of, if you imagine, sort of 4 porter cabins sort of joined together, rustled together, except made of concrete. Just one sort of one level from there. The road's got a fence over it, but everything seems to be really, really overgrown. And as you look at the gates and the fences that are on there, there's no sign of any sort of card reader here to let you into it. So you've got to somehow get into it, first of all.
Should we look for a hole in the fence?
Mm-hmm.
The dogs must have got out somehow if this is where they come from.
Yeah. Or a tunnel.
Yeah, go for an investigate roll. See if you can find.
No
look
way.
For a weak, or if we can find a weak bit in the fence, I might be able to tear it open.
Are we all rolling investigate, or?
Well, you rolled start, and then we'll see.
I'll just help you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
We'll just give a hand.
Ooh, 1 success.
Lovely. So you do indeed find there's a bit of the fence that's loose. That's clearly where the dogs got out, and you're able to sort of roll it up and sort of crawl through and do it. With that success, you manage to all sort of crawl through without alerting immediately the attention of something that's there, and you hear, but you do hear distantly on the sort of other side of the facility. There's a sort of a cautious bark from a not from a small little Highland Terrier dog, from a big Doberman, maybe a little bit like the one that you saw before, who seems to be almost ready to be on guard. And there's movement in just towards the facility of this dog that seems to have seen you. What do you do?
I said, don't run. I just stand there.
I was just going to say I run towards the facility.
Me too.
Yeah, if I see them run, I say run. The rider and run as well.
I'm
really awkwardly trying to hold kind of like my bag and all my stuff. And...
Excellent. So you make a run for it. As you do this, you catch sight of a Doberman. It looks an awful lot like Thor, like old Johann's dog, but obviously much younger and meaner. Strangely very similar to that dog, funnily enough. But you make a run for it to get to the facility. I'm going to ask you to do again a group check with move. So if you all want to roll, you need to basically get 1 success each. And if you get extra successes, you can sort of save people and do that from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my pride, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing scares me. So I'm not running because I'm scared of the dog. I'm running because everybody else did.
Excellent. You can still roll. You might get some extra successes if you want. So that's.
I'm going to re-roll then as well. Can I use a luck point to re-roll mine?
Certainly. Yeah.
I'll do that. And still nothing. I trip over some roots and barbed wire, I guess.
You do. I think you're going to be injured by this, I'm afraid.
Oh, my knee.
Yeah. As you fall over.
I'll pick Christian up and help Ida as well. I can.
Oh no, I'm okay. I got a 1.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I used my I got an immediate
Christian.
success because I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
Yeah. And luckily you have the little pass, so you get, and there's a little sort of thing, you can like stumble, Christian stumbles for it in his pocket and then manages to get it in, and this door opens and then shuts behind, and you're in a sort of reception area office in here. There's a door through to sort of some admin offices, and there's also another door through to what looks to be a sort of director's office in here. And you can hear arguing from within the admin office. The voice is familiar. You've heard it from 2 different people today already. And sounds like there's at least 4 or 5 Matts in there arguing. And indeed, as you go up to the little window, you can see this what was a sort of open plan office has been converted into a sort of makeshift home for several versions of Matts. The other door towards like the sort of director's office thing doesn't have a viewing thing on it. But yeah, doesn't have a viewing thing on it. You can also notice there's a way in the admin office. There's further steps down onto presumably where the meat of the facility is, stored underground from there. So what do you do?
We should leave them to argue and go downstairs. I don't want to think about how many Matts are in there.
Are they mean Matts as well?
Yeah, are they
Like the
aggressively
one you
arguing? Or are they?
They just seem to be going about every so often. It gets back to, well, I'm the real one. After all, no, it's the real one. No, the real one's not. The real one said, well, let's not fight because you might hurt yourself. You end up like the other one. Oh yeah, we better. Well, anyway, when we get home, we'll tell mum and dad, and it'll be sorted from here. And they all seem to be just arguing amongst themselves. Some seem meaner than others. As you sort of observe, you can see they've all got like various different things about them.
Okay.
And none of them look completely like the Matt we know. So from our
Well, none of them have that Bon Jovi jacket on.
Yeah, okay.
Which would be the only way to know, obviously.
Yeah.
But I now worry about they said about what happened to the other one. I'm slightly worried that he might have a Bon Jovi jacket on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like getting more mats is going to help the situation right now.
No.
At least we know where they are if we need them.
And they all seem to be occupied at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
With the real mats, please stand up, kind of thing.
Could we try going over to that other door and just seeing if we can hear anything from in there? I know we can't see in, but
Yeah, there's some breathing from within. You notice it's also locked, but behind the reception there's a sort of key hung up for it.
okay.
That you try and it does seem to open.
Yeah.
If you wish to, and within there.
Are we going in?
I mean, you're not scared, apparently.
I'm not scared, but are you guys okay with this?
I'm kind of behind the reception desk watching it happen. Kind of pretending to follow you, but not quite.
Suggesting I'm afraid, I just push the door open and wander it.
I'm ready to tell Henrik to help you, I'm about to say.
Well, in fact, within you find there is, to no surprise, another mat. Is lying sort of on. There's a big sort of reclining chair. This used to be the director facilities office. So there's a big bench and stuff. He's got some supplies to one side. His leg is sort of bandaged up, and he's got a makeshift splint made out of some sort of Reich's energy and material next to it. And as you walk in, he sort of comes to and says, "Oh, you're here. You're here." And the Bon Jovi jacket is sort of hanging up next to him.
Matt!
Says, "Oh, thanks that you're here. I thought I'd never get out.
We've
Don't
seen
be too
so
loud.
many of you today.
He says, "Yeah. I don't know what happened. I went to the facility with Petra and I slipped and fell, and then I woke up here. But there were more of me. There's a robot down there. I think he keeps making more of me. Is Petra okay?"
Petras. Yeah, they're fine.
Petras
They are,
good. Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, there's something. He said he was trying to fix me.
The
Matt,
robot?
The robot?
I look down meaningfully at his leg.
Yeah, he doesn't look very fixed at all. It looks like he could probably do with going to hospital soon and actually getting it sorted. There's a sort of makeshift, like you can see that some medical supplies have been like hastily assembled by something that doesn't know anything but the most rudimentary medicine and is more used to fixing machines than fixing humans.
Are they staples?
I don't want to look.
Sellotape.
There's something down there that's making more of you.
I don't think we want that. Do you want that?
I think he's trying to make more. No, you should stop him, and then maybe we can find Petra.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can have too many Petras, but we've definitely got too many Mats now.
Yeah, we need to do something about this. This isn't right.
Why don't you stay here, mate, and we'll go downstairs and we'll have a chat with the robot and sort it all out.
Who locked you in here, Matt? Did the other Mats lock you in here?
No, the robot said I'd better stay in here.
Okay.
And not get out. He said something about he thinks some of them have escaped, and he started locking up everyone since then.
So the robot. That's what I was thinking. It's a robot that can move around the entire facility. It's not like a fixed position thing downstairs. If it's come up here and locked you in, Christian looks kind of gulp.
Did the robot do this? Is this what it did to you?
No, I think it was trying to fix me.
Okay.
It put me into one of the spheres and said it would fix me, but then
Spheres?
I don't know what this facility used to do, but I don't know if it's working right anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like the big ecospheres we see out in the countryside.
Yeah, like those. Not as big as those, but like those.
Well,
a lot of power. They're definitely switched on. But yeah, you should stop him. And you can hear that like there's some whirring and banging from downstairs, as if something is.
Well,
about to be engaged again.
Don't worry about our friend Christian is an expert with computers and stuff.
Smartest kid in the school, some people would say.
Yeah, I sort of push Christian towards the door. Yeah, go on, Christian. You throw that out.
Dude, is there if we find a computer, I guess maybe there'll be a way of shutting this place
robots
down.
and computers are just the same thing, aren't they?
You just unplug it from the wall. That's what we did last time.
Computers don't walk around locking you in places, though. So a bit of a difference there, Henrik. Oh.
That's a very good point.
He says, "Oh, please stop him! Please stop him! I don't know what will happen." Keeps going. There's this guy banging from below as if something.
Yeah, come on, we can do this.
Okay.
We've dealt with bigger things than robots.
If we can find controls, then there'll hopefully be a way of turning it off.
Can I give everybody a team talk? I'm going to try my lead thing. I noticed some of them are still upset, so I'm going to try and I'll point out all their strengths. Although I'm still trying to think of what Henrik says, so I'll kind of...
It's a lovely jacket.
Yeah. A lovely spacious bag you have with you.
Yeah. Can hold multiple dogs.
Well, Henry, you're good at picking up heavy things. We know that. So if we need you to pick the robot up and keep it out of trouble, you can definitely do that. And we know that you, Christian, you're good with computers, so you'll be able to deprogram it or something, whatever it is. And Ida, you're afraid of nothing, so you'll be able to lead us boldly forward even when we're scared. Come on, gang. And then I'm going to try and roll leadership and see if that helps.
We don't burst into tears.
Well, I'm going to use my pride of everyone likes me, so I've got at least one success.
Brilliant.
I get 2 more successes, so I can clear up to 3 conditions. If everybody's got a condition, however, then I can clear them.
Yay.
Christian's injured, so maybe I kind of...
Yeah,
well, there's some medical supplies and stuff then, so I'm saying all this, I'll be wrapping you in a mummified bandage state around your legs. You've got a big Michelin man leg or something there.
Henrik's making himself feel better by doing some flexing in the corner.
Yeah, and I'm no longer upset, so I've flung the door back open and I'm ready to go.
Let's do this. Well, high five.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this room that looks like it could be used to keep a robot at bay, not knowing what this robot looks like at all? Christian is saying, is anybody going to pick up something heavy, maybe?
I grab hold of Henrik. I'm like, I can't do it.
I think, it's a director. Let's say there's a set of old golf clubs in the corner
cool.
that they're all dusty and stuff. Obviously, you replaced them and just left them here from that. And you can go downstairs. So, conscious of time and pace.
We've got the clubs with us. I want Henrik to go.
I'm going to grab some golf balls out of there as well, if there are any.
Okay,
Handful of golf balls.
Okay. Excellent. So, downstairs, we'll cut to sort of the showdown now. Because you go down there, you can see within this facility floor, there's 2 huge spheres, like the ecospheres that you are used to seeing in the countryside, as Nico pointed out. One of which is clearly labelled input, and the other which is clearly labelled output. As the juddering and banging starts, you see a suddenly very confused Matt appear out of the output one. Another one that's been in the input sort of pop out as well. From behind a computer panel, you see a sort of slightly bigger than human-sized robot. Think about sort of small torso, long, slender legs that can be used to move around, and very long arms, and a big sort of TV monitor head with that, and a tinny voice speaks as you enter. It says, "Excellent, new spare parts delivered. Proceeds to input sphere," and he begins to go. Clearly, his long pincery arms are going to try and move you into the input sphere. So, tell us a little bit of showdown where you have to finally resolve the action that you're going to do. You have a threat level for this, which is, for this activity, I'm going to make it normal. So there are 4 of you. That means you need to get a total of 8 successes. You each get to go, and it's pretty flexible what approach you want to take. So you could describe what you're doing, and you'll make a skill check based on that, and you'll try and get in total 8 successes from there. If you get less than 4 altogether between the 4 of you, it's a complete failure. If you get 4 or more, you can check some conditions to add successes, so you'll succeed at a cost. If you get 8, it's fine. You manage to resolve it, and we can do a little montage of what that actually looks like. Just to sort of set the stakes, you're trying to. There's lots of things to resolve here, if you see what I mean. You want to obviously stop the robot from doing the carrying out its cloning and keeping doing this. You might also want to have in the stakes undoing, like having all these cloned mats wandering around, maybe the cloned Petras as well, although that's probably less of an issue in terms of them just being around Sweden. But lots of mats might be something you want to put into your narration to see how that works. But you can choose the skill and you roll, and you just want to try and get a total of 8 successes. So I'll keep track, and you can do it in whatever order you want. So if someone's got a good idea of the first thing to do in the scene, they can go ahead.
I don't know what order to do things in, but if we can get the robot away from the console, Christian's going to attempt to hopefully try and deactivate whatever he can, basically. But he looks down at the fact that he picks up a putting wedge and realises he's made a terrible mistake. He's the worst club for fighting with.
Well, I mean, you have that chance. The robot is away from the console because it's moving towards the rest of the kids with its pincer arms to try and throw them at an ecosphere. Well, so it's.
I'll set it up by I'll look around and then remember they wanted a pinball machine for the clubhouse and we couldn't get, and that reminds me of something. And to try and confuse and distract the robot more, I'll run over to like the side door and let all the Matses out. Go Mats, it's free chocolate, multi-ball, and just like let them all run around like it's inside of a pinball machine or something. Just so the robot's having to run this way and that trying to collect them. Oh, that's my hope. So I'll try and seduce and cajole all the Matses to come out and search for the secret chocolate that's hidden all around the factory with my charm skill.
That sounds like a charm, yes.
Let's see if I'm lucky. Yes, I am. Luckily, there actually is chocolate hidden all around the factory. Just like the old factory workers left here, and like the vending machine's half open and stuff like that.
Yeah, the first Mats that you allow, it's like, I don't like chocolate. But then it becomes clear that that's his clone.
He's the weird one.
What are you saying? Oh, we love chocolate, and they all like trample him over him as he starts searching around for the chocolate. Excellent. So there's Mats running this way and that. The robot's confused, doesn't know which way to go. John, do you want to do your programming then? Christian?
Yes, he will attempt to do that. So I can.
Could I just? Sorry, I'm just going to suggest, because Ida was going to look for a manual to see if she could like shout out like instructions to Christian. So is it okay if I just nip in first?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, go for it. Give us an investigate to try and find the.
See if you can find reverse.
Oh, I'm going to see if I'm lucky. I am. I get 1 success.
Excellent. So you're down to 4.
I find it. I've got the manual and I'm like, okay, there should be a green light. And just shouting out to Christian.
Okay. Christian is going to attempt to work out what he can do, whether the robot is in any way controlled by these systems, or whether he can deactivate, mainly deactivate the machine. Then the robot can't make any more people. Is his main plan. If he could work out a way of using his encyclopedia, he would, but all I could think about really is grabbing it out of his bag and hitting the machine as hard as he can, but I don't think that's going to help really. So I think he's just going to go for program. Okay. So there's no bonus. That's a separate success from
That's a separate success yeah.
Oh, no successes. I'm going to use a luck point here and attempt to go again. That's okay. Oh, 2 successes.
Wow. So I think what happens in the fiction is there's still Mats running around. I think you're able to like shut down the facility to some extent, where I don't know. We can work out what happens to the cloned Matses later on. But you're able to deactivate what's happening, and maybe are you trying to maybe get some reverse in it, or?
I was going to try and get in reverse and then shove the Mats into the output and put them back into the input or something. In Henrik's mind, that makes sense.
It may reverse.
Just stick them back in the tube.
he may have reversed it. He definitely wants to turn off the chance of creating more if they get reversed or not. I mean, Christian will be worried about the ethics around that kind of thing, and I don't know. But I mean, but if I've just reversed it, then there's nothing you can do about it. Oh my god!
You've cut it down. It's not able to make any more. You know that, certainly from that. Ian, I think it's your go as the final attempt. You need 2 more successes to completely.
Well, I'm just going to sort of try and corral as many mats as I can into the output, and hope that they don't appear in the input. They just sort of disappear, and I'm just not going to think too hard about the ethics of that.
Yeah.
Fine. So force, I guess.
Force
around,
force
right. Cool. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah. Put them back in the tube.
Excellent. And
here, Matt. There's chocolate.
Woo! Throw the chocolate.
Throwing chocolate into the output means you managed to resolve it. And actually, the robot itself, because you want to deal with that as well, is in fact chasing you towards the output thing of this tube, and you can maybe jump out of the way at the last minute, and it goes back into the tube as well and finds itself disassembled and deactivated. And you have indeed solved the mystery, and also somehow dealt with all the clones of Matt that were there. Certainly, we're not sure where the other ones are, but you've certainly dealt with all the Matts from there, and you're able to take the real Matts back and get him looked at and fixed and stuff, and maybe even find the original Petra somewhere. If not, there are loads and loads of Petras around the place that can keep him company and keep everyone company.
We all got a dog as well.
We all got a dog. Everyone gets a dog.
To round off the session, let's just do a little sort of vignette. What do we see of our characters? Maybe after the do a little scene with your character after the mystery has been solved. It could be immediately afterwards. It could be a bit later. It's up to you. Just how do we see them sort of relaxing back into normal life, having saved the day and rescued Matt and his clone dog. Maybe if we go to Gaz first. What's Nico up
to? He's take your son to work day, so it's his dad's office, and he's not really into it at all. He doesn't want to do this for a living, so he's reading his comic book. But looking over the top of it, he noticed there's like this delighted squeal from the secretary clapping her hands as his dad's bought her a new puppy. It seems with a little pink bow around his neck. He's giving her a present. I just look after his employees, I think to myself as I turn over the next leaf of the comic.
Brilliant. John, what do you see of Christian? The time afterwards.
Christian picks up his sister from her school, rather because he's been neglecting that with all this kind of thing, and he got a bit stressed about. And on the way home, she's kind of chatting about her day, and while she's talking, he's going through his school bag, and he takes something out of his pocket that he found at the lab, and it's an ID card with his dad's face and his dad's details on it. So he's kind of one step closer to finding out why no one would tell him about why his dad died, and he pops it away.
Lovely, nice. Lovely. I love it. Becky, what do we see of Ida?
I think Ida is like left everybody at the crossroads, and she's walking back home, and she's like glowing. She's like, it's been a great day. She's got loads done. Didn't get feeling really good. Got a dog on a lead to try and ask her mum if she can keep it. And then sort of just as she gets a few sort of like houses up, three of her bullies step out from behind like a hedge, and she's just like, and they beat her up. And she picks herself back up off the floor and sort of just smiles and carries on.
Slightly bittersweet moment there, but yeah.
So it's back to normal.
I thought we were going to have a dog like defend you or something, but never mind. Maybe later.
Nah, I think it needs a bit more training. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I might need a few more of them, but I think there's a few I could.
There's plenty
get
around.
Hold of. So.
Cool. Finally, Ian, what do we see of Henrik?
Henrik cycles back home on his BMX, a Petra in his bag. Idea is to put a little basket on the front of his bike. He's had a pretty good day, but walks in the front door to find his mum and dad and one of his teachers at the table. Another one of those layers out. His mum looks up with a sort of smile on her face of like because of the dog, and then a sort of like sad look in her eyes as well. And we close the door and they have a conversation.
And with that, we've concluded our Tales and Loot mystery. If you are interested in running this mystery, it's actually available for purchase through the Free League Workshop, written by one Gaz Baubank. And Gaz, do you want to talk about where people can get more of this adventure?
Certainly, if you search for my name, Gaz Baubank, or Puppy Love, it's called, on Drivethru, I'll put a link below. If we get 6 unique people commenting below, I'll roll a d6 and give someone it free. So there you go, listeners. Do let us know what you thought of the scenario. If you'd like to see more, what other games you would like us to run. And of course, if you haven't already, please do consider liking, subscribing, hit that bell, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time on Unconventional GMs.